Good afternoon, students. For today's second session of SAP, we have Nagaraj sir with us. And Nagaraj sir, you can continue your class. I think we should wait for 5 minutes. Right now,
Yes,
44 attendees has joined. Once
yes,
the
Kunal.
attendees get
Yeah,
joined, we will start.
yeah, sure, Kunal. Thank you. So, students, any questions from the morning session or from any other previous sessions? You want to have a recap or whatever you want? Please put it up in your Q&A. So we will take up. We'll meet maybe say after 5 minutes. We'll allow 5 minutes time to allow the other students to come in.
Sir, right now I've got one question. Can you please give a quick recap of morning session?
Okay, Kunal. We'll do that. One more minute and we will start. We still have only 97 students. Morning there were around 215 students. Okay, we will start off with the recap. Maybe in one more minute. We'll just wait for one more minute and then we will start. All right, we will start. So we will just start. Somebody has asked, can you give a quick recap of the morning session? Definitely, will do. Yeah. So in the morning today, what did we do? We created a vendor master record. Correct. What else did we do? Vendor invoice. So what did we see in the vendor payment? Complete vendor payment, partial, residue. So we saw all these things. So what I'll do is I'm just getting into the next portion of your vendor payment. Clear? Or rather the vendor process. So for that, let me log into the SAP system. So for me to start out on a new topic in my accounts payable, let me ensure that I have a zero balance in my vendor. I'm just confirming whether I have any liabilities to be paid to my vendor. So remember, we created Measures Alpha Limited and the system generated the code 6400. So the vendor balance is zero. So I have no liabilities. Now moving on in our next topic. Somebody asked me, how do you confirm the balances or the amount pending with your vendor? So for which I'm going to enter the invoice again, the purchase invoice. Please, if somebody has missed out some sessions in the morning, please look at the thing once again. Probably if you ask me, I can be a little slow. So I'll go to any option, FB442, FB60 or F-42. So what is my purpose? I want to create a purchase invoice. What should I show you? All right. Now, so what do we enter here? 31 is a vendor credit posting key. We saw how it looks like in the morning. I'll enter 1 lakh rupees, or rather say 85,000 rupees. What should I do? debit purchases. I'm going to post this. I'll enter one more invoice. I'll create an invoice for 1 lakh rupees. So now, according to me, the system should throw up a payable of or a liability of 1,85,000 rupees. Let me confirm from the system itself. So I have an outstanding of 1.85 lakhs to be paid to Measures Alpha Limited. Now, how do I confirm this balance with my vendor? There is a concept called as balance confirmation. All right, let me just take you to that place. Balance confirmation. Where do I get that? Just give me a minute. Okay, can you see this? Or there is something called as a vendor balance. Let me just check. Just a moment. I'll search for the transaction code. See, under my accounts payable, under accounts receivable, F.18. Let me go back to F.18. I'll close all this. Don't get confused. So I'll go to a place where I need to remind my, or rather confirm my balance with my vendor. Just hold on. Print correspondence. Balance confirmation. F.18. Can you see this? Print letters F.18. I'll take up this option. Vendor is 6400. Company code is GM01. The reconciliation date is as of, let us say, 20th of July on Sunday, or maybe on Monday, or maybe today, it's whatever. So as of today, I want to confirm the balance. Individual vendors. Just see what is happening. I can also remind the vendor for the noted items. Clear? So sort variance for correspondence. Do not bother about all this. Sort by document number. Whatever. Line item sorting. Date of reply. I want the reply by 22nd or okay. All I can do is I can give a So normally you have the concept of SAP providing you with a fictitious table LP01. And if your system, if your office system is related to a, or rather it is actually connected to your printer, you can connect it. You can use that name. Now it is saying reply to. Reply to whom? Let me execute this. Or let me. He has to reply to GM01. Clear? Now I'll execute this. Issue 1807. Now can you see the, so I am generating a confirmation report with Measures Alpha Limited as of 18th of July as of today. So can you see this in connection with the checking of our year-end closing? We would ask you to compare the open items. Please find enclosed in envelope for your reply and statement. Kind regards. So can you see the system throwing up a balance of 1,85,000 rupees? We look forward to hearing from you soon. Did you see this? So with your ledgers and to confirm the agreement with the balance on the last page of this letter. See, can you see the report? Two pages or 4 pages? See, this balance confirmation applies to Measures General Motors GM01. The outstanding balance on the key date is 1,85,000 in our favor. So you can see both your alpha and your Measures GM01 signing, place and the date. So somebody in the morning asked me what is the process for reminding the vendors, or rather, how do you strike a balance confirmation with the vendors? So this is the step. Have you seen? Did you see this? Clear? Was this process understood? So can you see the program responsible for this? SAPF 130K. YK vendors, ADKMS. Interesting. Saw the wonderful feature of SAP. So I'll just make a note of it in our F.17 is your balance confirmation with your vendor. F.18 is your balance confirmation with your customer. Clear? Was this interesting? Any questions out here? Yeah. Shall I wait for 2 minutes for you to answer my question? I'm just pausing after each and every topic I cover so that you'll be in a position to absorb whatever is happening or whatever has happened. Was this an interesting feature provided by SAP? Now, I'll just wait for 1 more minute for your question. Okay, we'll move on with the next concept in our accounts payable. Let me just take up maybe. All right. Now, I will start receiving the payment for one of the invoices. Out of the 1 lakh or the 85,000 rupees invoice, I want to receive a payment for, let us say 85,000 or 1 lakh, whatever. Now you might be aware of the normal outgoing payment transaction. I don't think there is any problem there. Outgoing payment. So till now we have seen F-53. Yeah. Now I will go to F-58. Post and print forms. Let me see how this, what is the difference between F-53 and F-58? I want to receive a payment. See, immediately it will ask me for the house bank. Payment method is check. Company code is GM01. Payment method is check. C. Go to a drop down and see what is C. C is check. C is check. Clear? Now, ICICI is a house bank which I had created maybe long ago. This is a check lot number from which the SAP system is printing the check and delivering it to your vendor, Messrs. Alpha Limited. Now, can you see the calculate payment amount? It is checked. Now, I'm directing the check print to the fictitious printer LP01. Enter. Enter payments. Now I am receiving the payment for 1 lakh. House bank payment. Vendor is see, somebody was asking if the payment run can also include customers. See, can you see the customer also? Clear? Now I would go to process open items. Two items were selected, out of which I am going to deactivate the 85,000 units because I'm making a payment for 1 lakh. Clear? Have you understood this? Just similar to your normal payment. But see what happens, what the system does. I say, I post. See, document number was generated and the payment has happened successfully. So I have successfully made the payment of 1 lakh by using the ICICI House Bank. Clear? Now you see the process, the check is getting generated. See, there is something called as a spool. Okay. I will click on this spool number. Can you see the spool? This is all the spool is a repository of all your printing documents. Whatever you have directed your output to your printer, everything gets stored in a spool. Clear? Now click on this. Can you see the check being generated? Check. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. We are sending you a separate payment advice for document 30. Check number is 100031. Account number is 12345678990. This check is going to Messrs Alpha Limited.
Sir.
Yeah.
As you have seen the check system, it is possible to print that on the check also.
Which one?
Like if I have a check, see, I want to issue a check. Can I use the system to print the detail on my check?
Obviously, but for this you need to have a lot of arrangements. You need to talk to your bank as to how your check will be generated and how it is going to print. Okay. So these are the things which you must discuss. So the bank should give you the stationery. And it will not be your normal check. It will be a running stationery. Because in one payment run, see, in this case, I'm just generating one check and one vendor, one invoice. But just imagine if I had picked up hundreds of invoices, hundreds of vendors, hundreds of checks. So in that case, I need to get into an arrangement with the bank and I need to attach the rolling check to my printer and execute this automatic payment run so that it picks up the vendors, prints the checks.
Got your point, sir.
So can you see 100032? Check is getting generated. Bank number, account number. 1 lakh is a payment amount. See, this is just a sample. Don't assume that this is the check and this is what is going to be handed over to your vendor. This is just a system generated output. But for you to do it in the real time, there has to be a lot of settings and a lot of understanding with your bank as to what is the stationery, how, when, so many things have to be discussed. So that this is one small portion of your automatic payment run or automatic payment program. Clear? So here in this case, what did we do in F-58? It is a lower version of your APP. Clear? In my APP, which I'm going to show you next, in that case, I'm going to pick up n number of vendors, n number of company codes, and you can see n number of checks also getting generated. Clear? This is a smaller version of your automatic payment program, but the output is the same. The system ends up generating the check. Was this clear? Interesting. So in this case, instead of selecting F-53, which simply generates a now, which simply generates a clearing document, I have used F-58 so that I can make the payment, the check payment for one of my vendors. Now, has the system cleared this invoice? Has the system cleared this invoice? Can you see that there is only one open item for 85,000? And the system has also cleared the check, 1 lakh. Clear? Was it interesting? So can you see how these things actually are set up in the SAP system? And who sets this up? It is the consultants. It is the consultants who set up the system for the system to behave as smoothly as you saw just now. Creation of a house bank is a totally different topic itself. All right. Because I had already created ICICI, you can see the things flowing very smooth. I think I also showed how I created ICICI. I think I showed it a couple of sessions ago. Absolutely. Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Very right. So I hope the things are understandable. See, because the settings are perfect in the system, you're able to sail through without any errors. But when you look at the consultant's life, it is it's very difficult. It's very complex. To make the house bank work itself is a big task. Clear? Now, what about my automatic payment program? We saw a smaller version of our APP in our F-58. Now, where do I see this automatic payment program? Periodic processing, F110 payments. This is your automatic payment program. So here I am assuming that I'm making the payment on every 15 and on the last day of every month. So here I give the run date as some date 15/07/2025 and I give some identifier like say ABCD or whatever. OK. Normally it is not as simple as ABCD or something. Now let me pick up. Let me pick up. 1 lakh. 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 1 lakh Let me identify something. Proposal run has been carried out, have been posted. Okay, I'll pick up this. Now can you see? I picked up some old payment history which I had done, wherein the system had generated a check for, say, GM01, I suppose, successfully after carrying out the payments for hundreds of vendors, hundreds of invoices, and more than one company code. You should get a message saying that posting orders, one generated and one completed. You must get this successful. Now let me see the parameters. Let me explain as to what this F110 is. The settings are plenty. The settings for this particular APP to run successfully is something phenomenal. Lot of settings, parameters. Can you see I have picked up GM01 as a company code. Payment method is check. I have picked up one vendor 6385. Like this, I can pick up a range 6385 to 6400, whatever. As I said, customer can also be picked up in your payment program. I had actually theoretically answered this question. Now, are you seeing this practically? I remember somebody had asked me a question whether customers can also be included in the payment program. Are you getting the answer now? Clear? So like this, I can also payment proposal as having payment run. So you have the proposal also, you can see the proposal. Not responding. Why? What happened? Just hold on. See, it should be successful. Payment should have happened. Let me see if I can double click. Something is wrong here. Chase is not responding. Just hold on. See, it has made a payment for these 4 invoices through the house bank ICICI. Okay, can you see the four open items being paid? Yeah. So your F-58, unfortunately, I cannot do this F110 because I do not have enough invoices. All right. Let's go back and see how the so many options. See, 1900 document number 190041 has been created. 42 has been created. 404142. So for each of the open items, there is a everything has been cleared and one check has been generated for the particular vendor. Clear? Was this understood? See, available amount is enough. So you can get all the information in your log. In your proposal log, you can get all the information. Clear? How to carry out the check printing? You generate the output of your F110 is directed to a printer, and you will be having the check stationery attached to the printer, and it keeps printing. As in when you finish off with a vendor and it's being clear, and once the payment program is successful, you can see that the individual checks for the individual vendors are printed. Okay, you remember I used a printer called LP01. In my office, I can use the Xerox or whatever the whatever printer my system is attached to. So the output will be directed to that printer, and I am asking the system to print the checks. It prints. Absolutely, absolutely. Very interesting. But at the same time, you can see the consultant struggling to get this right. The effort of a consultant is something phenomenal. Phenomenal. Guys, how are the sessions going on? Good. Things to learn. You saw how wonderful the system is built. Right? I'll pause here for 2 minutes. Come back to me with questions. One more minute, and let me talk about something interesting pertaining to accounts payables only, or I can do it even in the accounts receivable. It's not a problem. All right, shall we get into a new concept? Now I want to show you something interesting. I'm trying to enter the vendor invoice 1,10,000. Now, can you see the payment terms? It is showing that this invoice is due immediately. Why? Because here I have not entered into any agreement with my vendor as regards the credit terms. All right. So each and every invoice till I assign a payment term, the system will be throwing up the invoices or the open items as due immediately only. As soon as the invoice is posted into the system, it immediately becomes due. Clear? Now I'll go back. I'm not going to post this. I'm not going to post this invoice. Just hold on. Now I want to make that. Now I get into an agreement with my vendor regards to discount. Clear? Now, where do I edit the master record? Go to account, go to master records, go to FK02. I want to change the accounting information. This is my first screen of my finance information. Can you see that there is something called as a payment term in the master record of the vendor? Now, I will say I'll pick up this. Within 14 days, 3% cash discount. Within 20 days, I enjoy 2% cash discount, but the whole invoice is due 30 days. So I'll assign this to my master. Now, what is the understanding? Let me take you back again. So where do you see this payment term? Again, in the customization, the consultant sets this payment terms in his configuration. Where do you see this payment term? I go to the consultant screen. Actually, this is not required, but as a matter of just interest, that's it. I go to my AR and AP. Please make a note that I am in the consultant screen. Outgoing invoice, outgoing. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, you can see this. Can you see maintain terms of payment? I execute. You can see 003 out here. So now that I have assigned this to my vendor, within 14 days, I enjoy 3%. Okay, within 20 days, I enjoy 2%. With how does this 20 days and 14 days from which date is it being calculated? Just double click here from the posting date. From the date the invoice has been entered into the system, I calculate my, it could be the document date also. Clear? Let me not change the settings. Now I enter my I enter the invoice document entry. Let me put it at 1,10,000 itself. Some English. I'm using the same general ledger accounts. Now see how the system behaves. Enter. Enter. Now can you see the explanation has changed? 14 days, 3%, 20 days, 2%, 30 days is the final date for the invoice to be paid. From which date? From the posting date. 14 days. Now I will save this information. SAP has posted this successfully. Clear? Now, let me make a payment. I'll pick up F-53. Now let me make a payment as of 25th. No, sorry. Let the document date be today. But I am making the invoice payable on purpose. I'm not entering the amount. All right. Go to the process of open items. Just a yellow message. Can you see it has calculated 3,300 rupees as a discount? So instead of 1,10,000 rupees, I need to make a payment of only 1,06,700 rupees. What was the discount? 1,10,000 rupees was the invoice. Into what was the percentage? 2%, right? One lakh 10,000, right? Okay. 1,10,000. What was the discount? 3%, right? Or is it 2%? 3%. Can you see? 3% within 14 days. When am I making the payment? I'm making the payment as of the 25th. So 18th is a document date. Today is a document date. And I'm making the payment on 1 week later. So within 14 days, it is 3%. Can you see how the system is calculating? ₹1,06,700 is this amount what you're seeing? Correct? Now I'm not going to save this. I'm going to show you something more. Post. So after 14 days, what was the discount? 2%, right? Something, I mean, I don't remember. Okay, I'll post the invoice. 1807. The original invoice was dated 18 plus 4. Let me make the payment as of 5th of August. See, I'm changing the posting date to 5th of August. I'm not entering the amount. Let me say if the how the system is understanding this discount. It should be less, no? Let me see the payment term. 20 days, within 20 days, right? Within 14 days, within 20 days. After 14 days. I'm making a payment after 14 days, no? Okay. 20 days. 20 days means 18. Can I make a payment on the 10th? 18 plus 14. On the 10th of August, let me make a payment. Again, it is showing 3,300. Why? It should be only 2%, right? Let me read the condition first. Within 20 days, 18 days. 20 days are over. I don't know why the system is. It should actually pick up 2,200 rupees. Let me just check again. 14. Okay. It says the document date, right? Okay. Let me 20 days. It has already crossed. I'm making the date as of there is something wrong. 18. I'll just try this for one last. Again, taking up. Why is it not changing to 2? I need to look into the payment term. But this is how the system behaves. Did you get the point? So whenever I try to enter, or it's the same case with the customers also. Clear? So this is nothing but how the system understands to which payment term you have assigned, to which credit information you have assigned your vendor. so that the system picks up the relevant information whenever you are trying to make a payment. This is exactly what I said. Your APP also picks up the information from your discount terms also. Clear? Was this understood? Anyway, I'm not going to post any of this. If you have understood the concept, I'm more than happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. How the things are different when there is a APP system, automatic payment program. See now, system is nothing different. See in APP, what is happening here is it is picking up the payments of n number of vendors, n number of company codes. Why am I stressing on n number of company codes? Suppose I have a centralized payment arrangement, like say Reliance. Reliance Group is responsible for making the payments to the vendors of Jio, Smart, Trends. Let me assume that scenario. So every payment is getting released by the head office only. So in that case, how does the head office release the payments of your Jio company code, Smart company code, Trends company code? Are you getting my point? This is what is controlled in your APP. So Jio has a set of vendors, Trends has a set of vendors, Smart has a set of vendors. So all these vendors, all the open invoices, all the company codes, they are brought into the automatic payment program. I hope I was clear in letting you know this concept. Perfect. Thank you once again. Thank you. Very nice of you. So Kunal, shall we take a break for 10 minutes?
Sure, sir.
Students will take a break for 10 minutes, reassemble by 3:13. All right. Okay, students, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we stopped at very interesting concepts in accounts payables. The same things happen in your accounts receivables also. Here we are talking about the accounts. We are talking about vendors. Here we are going to talk about customers. Same concepts. Invoice, partial payment, residual payment, everything is the same. Creation of the customer master data, reconciliation account. All right. Shall you want me to have a look at that? Shall we? Okay, so that I will take you through the and but in accounts receivable, the most important concept is your dunning. All other concepts, they are the same. Your balance confirmation, you're seeing the balances of the customer, everything is the same. But in accounts payable, the most important concept was the payment. And here, as far as the customers are concerned, the most important concept is your dunning process. What is dunning? The automated process of reminding the customers for their overdues. Now let us see the process in SAP. I think I need to log in again. So here I created the vendor in accounts payable. The end user creates the customer in the easy access in your accounts receivable place. Master records, FD. What was the transaction code for your vendors? It was FK. FK01, FK02, FK03. Now always bear in mind, we are talking about the customers and the vendors only from the finance perspective. We have not brought in the other modules at all. Please be very aware of that. Yeah. So we are talking about the individual customer or the individual vendor master data only at the general data level and at the company code level. We are not concerned, or right now we are not touching upon the purchasing organization or the sales organization. Here. Now, how does a end user or a super user or a consultant create the customer bill? Create. I think I need to log in. Just hold on. So here, customers. Okay, I'll make note of it later. Let me enter into the SAP system first. So what was our activity? We were supposed to create a customer. Clear? Accounting, financial accounting, accounts receivable. So earlier we visited accounts payable. We saw FK01. Now we are going to accounts receivable. And here we are going to see FD0. Here D stands for customers, ADKMS. Clear? What are ADKMS? Account types. Here again, you have the system asking for the account group. Clear? Now, which account group do I select? I'll enter the company code. Which account group do I select? So I remember I had created a export customer group. Foreign. Let me just check. Do I? Export customers for GM0. I had earlier created this group. Let me see if I can show you this group. I open another session. Okay, can I? Okay, I'll show this to you later. I'll complete this. Enter. See, again, it is asking me for the general data. Clear? So measures. Measures Z Limited. Export customer. You can enter the house name, whatever, street. Okay. And you can see under, if you scroll down, you can see this PO box, contact person, whatever, mobile phone number. Clear? See here, as you saw in the vendor, but there it was not explicit. Here you can see the control data. So here again, if at all your customer is also a vendor, how is SAP going to treat? You have the vendor. So Measure Z Limited can also be a vendor also, can also be a vendor. So in that case, how does the system behave? Okay. Now I go to the company code data. Can you see on top right? This is the place where I enter the reconciliation account for accounts receivables. So inbuilt, or rather by default, we have a standard, not by default, a standard GL account, 1,40,000. What was the GL account for vendors? It was 1,60,000. Here it is 1,40,000, which is a reconciliation account which connects the finance module to your AR module. Okay, I will save this. For the first time, this is the only thing. Can you see that the customer has got a huge number 500001641? Okay, I need to remember this. Oh, 1641. Okay. Now I want to enter the invoices, sales invoice, document entry, FB70. So till now, we have seen FB50, FB60. Right now, we are going to see FB70. Clear? It will ask you for the customer. Today, I'm going to enter the invoice. Measure Z Limited, Cunningham Street. Okay. Anyway, I'll copy this. See here again, due immediately. Yeah, now you know the impact. Any sale I make to Measure Z Limited. Measure Z Limited needs to immediately make a payment to me. All right. So individual by default, any vendor invoice or your customer invoice, they are due to be paid immediately or due to be received immediately, unless and until you enter into an agreement with your vendor or your customer as regards your discounts. Clear? This point is clear. Now, I'll have to enter the sale account. So what is the entry? Customer to sales. So who's a customer? Oh, this is a GL account. Sorry. Where is the customer? I've already entered the customer. Perfect. So the amount, let it be for 60,000 being the sales. In the AP screen, while you are entering the vendor invoice, you would see only the debit. Debit what? Debit purchases. Now here you see only the credit because the debit has already gone to Measure Z Limited. The 60,000 debit is already indicated by this header. Clear? Now I'll enter the sale. So what is my sale account? 800050 something like that. Let me pick up a sale account. Sales foreign. Let me pick this up. Okay. I'll say start because it will pick up 60,000 from here. 60,000 rupees is picked up from here. All right. Enter. See now the light is turned green. It is in the last. So this data now can be posted. It's allowed. The system is happy. I can go ahead and post. Or if you want, you can simulate. 01 customer debit sales credit. Can you see the entry? DR is a document type. Yeah. And I post. Can you see the DR document is generating a 18 series document? There it was a 19 and a 15. Here it is 18. Now while receiving the money, let us see what document number it generates. Now you see that there is a DR document which is generating a document series starting from 18. Clear? Now let me see the balance of this customer. Account FD11 or you can go to FD10N, whatever. It's all the same. My practice is I go more frequently to FD11. Enter. I've entered the customer number, account balance, 60,000 sale in period number 4. The customer has got a debit 60,000. So if you click here, it will show you that open item. And what is it? It is due. This invoice is also due and it is open. Clear? Come back. Now, what I'll do is I will try to receive a payment. Document entry. Incoming payments F-28. You see the document type DZ. So as soon as you enter into a specific place, SAP is picking up the document type on its own. You do not have to interfere in the process. Clear? Now, the account, I can use the same bank account. I'll receive 60,000 completely. So what is the, see here, earlier you saw K, here you are seeing D, down, bottom, left, account type. So there it was outgoing payments. Here it is incoming payments. I'll enter the customer from whom I need to receive the payment. Enter. As you can see, there's only one item and it is matching. I can as well go and post. See, 15 series document. Okay. DZ has generated a 15 series document. Now we can go and see the status of the customer. 60,000, 60,000 nil. You see, it is clear. Clear? Now, I'll enter one more invoice, or rather, let me say I enter 2 or 3 invoices. Document entry. Now I will show you how this F-22 behaves. Same thing like that of your F-43, F-02. Yeah, F-02 is for your journal voucher. F-43 is for your another way of entering the vendor invoice, and F-22 is another way of entering the customer sale invoice. Clear? Same thing, same screen. All right. Now you see the DR. There it was KR. Here it is DR. I'll enter the invoice as of today. Scroll down. What is 01? Let me check. It is your customer debit. Yeah. So what do I need to do? Customer debit, sale credit. Mrs. Z Limited. I'll enter the invoice for 85,000 rupees or 90,000. Being the sales. So what should be credited? Sale. 1, 2, 3, 5, 80050. It is a sales revenue for him. Star and a plus. Here. One more sale has been entered. I'll enter one more sale. I'll enter an invoice for 1,25,000. Students, please tell me if I'm going a little too fast. Okay. Now, according to me, I have two open items now. Two invoices. Let me confirm. ₹2,15,000 is the total, comprising of two open items. One for 90,000, another invoice for 1,25,000. Now I want to remind this to my customer. Measures Z Limited. I want to remind him. So what do? Again, what is the process called? Balance confirmation. Periodic processing. Print correspondence. F-18 balance confirmations. F.17. So there we saw the vendor. Here we are seeing the customer. I want to reconcile as of today. Don't bother about this. It will take some time for you to digest. Not a problem, but just know that the process is for sending out and you are settling the balances. This is the balance. You are talking to your customer by sending out a report. Date of reply. Let me make it as 25th. I'll give them 1 week's time to confirm. Previous date of issue. As I said, these are all the fictitious printers. Okay. Now reply to. Okay. Now I'll execute this report. Enter the date of issue. Okay. Can you see the balance confirmation against Measure Z Limited? Earlier we had read set Measures Alpha. Now this is Measure Z Limited. He is our customer. So we are asking him to confirm whether he has to pay this amount. So these are the invoices, one for 90,000 rupees, another invoice for 1,25,000 rupees. Total pending is 2,15,000 rupees. Okay. So it has all the English. The balance according to our book agrees with the figure stated above, or the balance according to our book does not agree with the figure. Okay. So we have Measures Z Limited and Measures GM1 Limited, GM01 Limited signing. This is your balance confirmations. So we had seen the same process in our AP also, where we were striking a balance with our vendors. Here we are striking the balance with our customers. That's it. Now the most important thing. Oh, I can't done this right now. Huh? See, there it was SAP 130K. Here it is 130D. So you can also see the programs responsible for generating certain output. Okay. How can I done this? I doubt. Okay, not a problem. Now let me enter two more open items. But even before that, I want to assign a dunning procedure. I go to my master records, open up my customer Z Limited. I go to the next payment transactions, go to correspondence, come to dunning. So here I would pick up what is dunning? Automated process of reminding your customer. 4-level done. I'm assigning it to some dunning procedure. Where do I see this procedure? Who creates this? Obviously the consultant. And where do you see this? Go to the consultant screen. You have something called as a dunning. Here I am purposely I'm going a little hurriedly because it is a job of a consultant and you would not be as of now till now you may not be you may not it may not be required for you as of now. So I have assigned this to 0001. Now let me understand what this is. So dunning interval in days after every 14 days. So I have a gap of 14 days between sending the reminders and the maximum level is 14. I also have a line item grace period of 2 days. Please make a note of this. Two. Don't worry about this. So dunning interval is 14. Now I'll enter this invoices. I'll enter the invoice again. Two other invoices. Quickly I'll enter the invoice. Amount is 2,10,000. Post. Successfully posted. I'll enter one more invoice for 2,85,000 rupees. Company code is not deployed. What is it? So I must be having 2 invoices pending. Now I want to send a reminder to this particular customer. How do I do it? I go to periodic processing under accounts receivable. In my end user screen, I have this dunning. Let me say I carry out the dunning as of 5th of August. No, let me take this as 8th of August. Let us say GMD1. Okay. Oh, I've already assigned the product. Okay, running. It says no parameters maintained. I go to the parameter. Dunning date is on 8th of August. Documents posted up to 7th of August. Company code is GM01. Can you see I can also send reminders to my vendors also? Yesterday we discussed this. Customer is I'll enter the customer and I will say details have been saved for the run on 8th of August. Come back to the status and it says parameters were maintained. Earlier it says no parameters maintained. Now I'll go to the schedule. LP01. Do not try to understand this. It may sound a little complex. Bother about the output. Okay. Start immediately. Schedule. So it says one dunning notice have been generated, one are to be sent. Let me go to the dunning printout. Print. Go to the dunning history. Don't bother about this step. Just see the output. Account type is D. Company code is GM01. Customer is 1641. Execute. Now you see first level of dunning is happening for the whole amount of 7,10,000 rupees. See the notice. Click on any line. Just a moment. Display dunning notice. Print preview. LP01. Now you see the first dunning notice being issued to Messrs Z Limited on the 8th of August 2025. Total amounts are being due. Total invoices are due. They are in arrears for 21 days. Okay. Clear? This is your first dunning notice. So when do I generate? So it says created successfully and the dunning notice for this particular customer 50001641 has been done successfully. Can you see the program also? RFMAHN20. Now, how many times can I remind this customer? 4 times. Because I have assigned this customer to the dunning procedure 0001, which says I have 4 levels of dunning and I can remind this customer every 14 days. Now I have, let me say, 8 plus 14 on the 26th. I want to generate the next level of dunning on the 26th of August. 26/08/2025. GMD2. Again, it says no parameters maintained. Again, I give the set of parameters. Dunning date is on. What should be the dunning date? 26th of August. For documents posted up to 25th of August. Company code is GM01. Customer is this. I'll mention the customer here. Say. It says parameters are saved. Parameters are maintained. I will schedule this run. LP01. Start immediately. Schedule. Again, one notice has to be sent. Okay. Turning printout. It's okay. You can either do it or don't have to do it. All right. Now, if you see the dunning history, execute. Now you have your second level of dunning also. Now, in between the first and the second level, you can also have any number of invoices also. But it depends on the system which invoice is going to be picked up based on the dunning information. Did you understand? Now let us see the dunning letter. Now you can see the second dunning notice. Now can you see the English getting more and more serious? We have already sent you a reminder about the due date for our invoices. We have, however, so far been unable to find any record for our incoming payment for these invoices. Please transfer these overdue amounts immediately. If this dunning letter once again fails to elicit any action on your part, we will unfortunately have no option but to calculate interest. Again, you have the, so it has increased. The arrear days has increased. So like this, and I'll show you the third level and you can see the first level. I'll show you the first level printout. It just says you'll have to owe us money. It is very simple English. See? It simply says, if you have paid the amounts due in the intervening period, please disregard this letter. Very simple and very soft. But the second level, you can see the seriousness increasing. You see that we are telling the customer saying that if you do not make a payment, we might have to apply for a, charge you interest on the outstanding. Yeah. Now, let me do the third level of dunning. Now, when did I do the third level or second level? 26th of August. Let me do it on the 15th of September. Parameters 26th. Is my calculation correct? So let me do it. Will it pick it up? Let me do it on the 20th. Okay, 14 days now. 26th. Okay, 14 days. I think it should be fair. Yeah. Dunning date is 15th of September. For the documents entered up to 14th of September. I will save this. Details have been saved. Status. I'll schedule. So one Dunning information will be sent. Dunning printout. I'll go to the Dunning history. I'll execute. See, the third level of Dunning has also happened. Pick up that third Dunning level, third Dunning letter. Now you can see a very, very serious note. Third Dunning notice. Dear Madam, dear Sir, Madam, since you have not reacted to our previous Dunning letters, we have had no option but to calculate interest. If you do not adhere to this payment deadline, we will have no option but to apply for a court order. Do you see how each level of Dunning, how the seriousness is increasing? So as I said, especially when you're talking about very strictly the European companies and to a very, very great extent, the US companies, they follow this in the complete spirit. We do not have actually in the live projects, we do not have more than 3 levels of that. Now, did you see the English? Did you see the letters? How serious they were from one level to the second level to the third level. Yeah. So it says the court order. Clear? So this is exactly what happens in your international companies. Yes. Mercilessly, they will apply to the court. That's it. Saying that these were the outstanding payments which we have not received till now. So, dear students, with this, I think we end the accounts payable and the accounts receivable side of finance. I hope you have understood a fair amount of what we did today. Was it interesting? Was there something new to learn? How did you find the sessions? Can we set? Yes, you can set the. See, now I had a vendor Messrs Alpha Limited. If I have another company Messrs XYZ Limited, another vendor, I can have another payment term pertaining to whatever understanding I have with the vendor. You can do it. Obviously, it is vendor wise. It is actually vendor wise. I do not have to set the same payment terms with one vendor to another vendor. I don't have to do it. Clear? Now it is 14 days. With another vendor, it could be 20 days. 14 days, 3% or something we had, right? For another XYZ Limited, I can have 20 days. Okay. Was this answer clear? Obviously, you will have the payment terms based on the vendor. What is the business? Yeah, based on all the what is it? What is the volume of business? What I'm giving to him. So more the volume, more the control I'll be having because I'm actually giving him a lot of business. So I think this question was also answered. So I hope till now the sessions got quite interesting, and thank you. Thank you. So I definitely hope the learning was new, very different. So Kunal, can we wind up the session for today and meet up on Monday? The identification number is some entity, that's it. See, you have your vendor number, you have your customer number, some indicator. Some indicator. Your identification number means some indicator. That's it. Some identifier. Clear so far? Kunal? Thank you all students. Kunal, you're there? Kunal, are you there? Okay, students, I will log off. All right. So we are meeting on Monday at 11 a.m. Okay, thank you all. Have a great weekend. Hope you had a good session. Thank you. Bye bye.